Welcome to the Life with Joey Calvo Podcast. I'm Joey Calvo. Today we have Steven. He is from Humoni Mindset. And so welcome to the podcast, first of all, Steven.
Thank you, Joey. Great to be here today.
Okay, so tell us about Steven. Who is Steven? What is Humoni Mindsets?
Well, who is Steven? I'm still trying to figure that out. But basically, born in the United States, educated in the United States, grew up in the United States, but I've spent most of my adult life living outside the United States. I lived in Asia for 21 years, lived in Australia for 12 years, Mexico for 3 years. So kind of have an international background.
Okay. And so what led you into what you're doing now?
Well, I was in the corporate world working for multinational companies when I went out and started my own businesses about 30 years ago. Got into teaching leadership programs, mentoring leaders. I've coached and mentored over 12,000 leaders. Then I came with this concept called Humani. And I first applied it to leadership. Humani is a word I created, combining humanity, and harmony. And I applied it to leadership to teach leaders to be more people-centric, the fact that they're leading human beings, not assets, not resources. And now I've applied it globally, Joey, to all of us. And I call it the Humani Mindset, which I define as the practice of treating all human beings with peacefulness, compassion, kindness, and respect.
Okay. All right. So what led you to get it to where this mindset is going to be the key to be out there, to make it work, to make it feasible in reference to the corporate world, etc.?
Well, this is more, let's talk about outside the corporate world. The Humani Mindset's for all of us, and it's how we treat each other. I mean, we live in such a divisive world. I mean, people are hair triggered and pissed off, and if you beep your horn on the highway at somebody, and they're just likely to pull a gun on you or run you off the road as to smile back at you. So this is a concept that says, look, we can't create world peace, you and I. We can't solve the Middle East peace crisis. We can't solve hunger in Africa. But you and I can make our neighborhoods better. We can make our schools better. We can make our workplaces better. We can make them more harmonious. We can make them more peaceful, more kind. And so it's just getting a message out there to everybody saying, hey, do what you can in your little niche of the world, and let's make the world a better place for our grandchildren and children to inherit.
Okay. So this concept is just more of a people focus instead of a society focused.
Yeah, it's a people focus. It's how we interact with one another. I mean, just being nice to one another, doing little things to help each other out. It helps to ensure that all of our personal interactions and our individual actions are really based on 4 things: kindness, compassion, peace, respect. And, quite frankly, very few people I meet and talk with have huge respect for others. I mean, that's one of our biggest problems in society. We don't respect one another. It's my attitude, my beliefs are right and your beliefs are wrong. And I'm not going to respect your beliefs. I'm not going to expect you to have the right to your beliefs. You need to change because I'm right. We need to get past that. We need to get back to being human beings.
Okay. And in reference to this concept, what's the hardest thing that you've come across as you've been presenting this?
Oh, that's a great question, Joey. The hardest thing, I think I tell you what I find is people somehow think that compassion is a weakness, or that you can be too kind. And if you're too kind, you get stepped on, you get rolled over by others. And look, admittedly, that's true. There may be 5, 6, 7% of the people in the world who will do that to you. I mean, 5, 6, 7% of the people, if you're kind to them, might bully you back, might treat you as a weak person.
Mm-hmm.
But let's focus on the other 90%, 93, 94, 95%. Let's go through life focusing on those interactions. And,
Right.
like I said, be kinder to one another.
Yeah. And so even within that 93 to 95%, you still are going to come across some challenges to that.
Of course. Well, I mean, we're dealing with human beings. Human beings are complex. And the other thing is, none of us are perfect. Look, I haven't lived my whole life with a humany mindset. I created this concept about 3 years ago. I'm doing my best to implement it every day, but I'll be the first to admit I can lose my temper. I can get mad. I can feel like somebody's walking past me or stepping over me, treating me with unkindness, and I might want to react in a similar manner. But I've learned to minimize those interactions. I've reduced them greatly. And one of the parts of this mindset, Joey, if you think about it, almost all of our interaction, almost everything in life, quite frankly, can go into one of three boxes. There are things we can control, which is usually just us. There are things we can influence, and there are things that we can neither control nor influence. And most of that's other people and the way other people act. So if I just walk around with that third box mentality and somebody's rude to me, I was helping somebody the other day and I was trying to show them something and they got rude back to me saying something like, "I'm not an idiot. I can understand this." And I said, "Look, I'm not treating you like an idiot. I was just trying to give you the details here." And she treated me with a great deal of disrespect. I just put that in the third box. I'm not going to let it ruin my day for the rest of the day thinking, geez, she treated me unkindly.
Great. All right. So could you go a little more deeper into the concept and like, I mean, I know you just gave an example of one that you just did the other day, and how they treated you. I mean, give another example that you of something other than or within that, but like another that went another direction with it.
Sure. Look here, I do this all the time since I've started this concept. I'm shopping. I'm at Target or I'm at my grocery store. I've got a pretty full basket. And, somebody behind me only has like 3 items. And you can kind of sense that they're in a hurry. I just step back and say, please go in front of me. Even if I only have 5 items. And they say, hey, you got the same as me. I say, yeah, but you look like you're in a hurry. I'm not. So please. And they just smile. And I can tell that for at least the next few minutes, their life is going to be a little happier because somebody treated them with kindness. It's a very simple thing to do. And all these things that we can do to one another to show a little bit of kindness or respect is phenomenal. And it has a snowball effect that I call the power of 5. If I treat 5 people with kindness intentionally, and each of those 5 people treats another 5 people with kindness throughout the day, now we're up to 30. Yeah. And if those 30 people happen to continue the reciprocation, that's 150. Now we have 180. And you do that 2 more times, you're impacting 3,100 people indirectly if it snowballs like that. Now, everyone's not going to do it 5 times, but if everyone does it 3 times, it's still going to be like 1,500 people. So it really has a snowballing effect.
Okay. All right. So how can people reach out to you?
My name, as you see on the screen, Stephen with a V and an N at humanymindset.com is probably the easiest way. If you're interested I have a YouTube channel. If you're interested in more learning about the Humany Mindset ideas, I'm posting content and it's just youtube.com at Humany Mindset. Go there and I put a lot of quotes on there and motivational quotes and inspirational quotes. Just kind of put people in the right mood as they go through their day.
Okay. So just give me a minute because I'm going to put it up on the screen for people to, be able to. All right. Yeah. So Stephen at humanymindset.com. And the YouTube channel was Humany Mindset as well?
Yes, it's just youtube.com / at Humany Mindset, or if you just search Humany Mindset, you should find it on YouTube. Okay. Please subscribe. Yeah. And then you'll get updated with when I send out new content.
Okay. Give me one moment.
Thank you, sir. Most appreciated.
Yeah. All right. So you can reach him out by email at steven@humanimindset.com, or you can go on YouTube at youtube.com/@humanimindset. And Steven, where do you see this concept going within the next 5 years?
I hope to see it as a global movement. And that's why if people want to reach out to me, let's talk about how just to bring it into your neighborhood, into your workplace. I'm happy to discuss ideas with you. So if you send me an email, I'll send you a calendar invite and we can talk. But, I would really, really like to see this become a global movement. Just so, all the things we see on our TV screens these days, whether it's what's happened in Minnesota lately, whether it's the disrespect that's shown by our senior leaders in office, we need to stop that. We need to set better standards for ourselves as adults, as human beings, and hopefully others will follow us if we set those higher standards. But if we don't, if we keep allowing our president, our politicians, our newscasters to always show disrespect to other people, then our society is just going to continue sliding down the slippery slope of disrespect, which would be a shame. And it's not the world I want to leave behind for my children, and if I ever have any grandchildren.
Right. Okay. All right. So, like I said, go on YouTube and subscribe to Humanity Mindset. And you can reach out to Steven at steven@humanitymindset.com. Steven, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being a guest on the podcast.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. And you're doing a great job, and keep broadcasting these shows and sending out such positive messages, Joey. Thank you very much. Well,
actually, I'm going to close with this. There's an announcement I'm about to make that actually it had affected me a month ago. Matter of fact, the beginning of this month. I did a Facebook Live and kind of said, if somebody wanted to do something for my birthday, this is what I wanted to do. So I got a hate email for it. I don't know how this jerk found it, but reached out to me and says, oh, this is not going to happen. Nobody's going to do this. Nobody's going to do that. Just do your podcast. Shut up and just do your podcast. Well, as of Thursday, folks, this podcast is now a member of a community access media group in the city of Philadelphia who is going to broadcast the podcast via radio and television by the summer of 2026. And that became as of Thursday. So we are official. So there are some steps I have to take to make that happen, but the process has started, folks. And in reference to that, once the podcast is on radio and TV, it will be out to about 1 million people in Philadelphia to start.
Congratulations. Well done.
We will be looking for sponsors at that point to try to make it go into syndication type way across the country. So
congratulations, well done. Yeah. And that email from that individual you received, that goes in that third box I was talking about, Joey. Just put it in that third box. You can't influence, you can't control it. Put it in that box and let the box shred it.
Oh, believe me, if you watch the podcast I did that day when I got it. Oh, yeah, I shredded it right. I shredded that person too. So yeah, I got my temper out on it, but I am proud to say that this happened as of Thursday. And so, like I said, the process has begun. And hopefully, like I said, by the summer, there'll be more details. Matter of fact, as I'm going along, I'm going to find out how I can link this. Matter of fact, when I did go to look at this place, originally, they have a studio that I could do this with, where I just right where I'm doing it right now. The way, the email I sent you and so on.
Right.
They use this platform that I'm using there. So there's a studio that I can still do that in, even.
Oh, good for you.
So I have an extra studio now, which I'm proud to say. And that, it's great about that. So, like I said, this was a big step that I've been waiting to take. It just took a little bit of time, but it happened. And 2026 is starting to be is going to start being a better year now because of these steps that I'm taking. So, like I said, definitely check out Steven on YouTube at Humanity Mindset. Email him, Steven@humanitymindset.com. Again, thank you so much. Thank you for being part of the big announcement in reference to it. And thank you, everybody, for watching the Life with Joey Calvo podcast. God bless you all.
Thank you, Joey.